What else do we got? Oh, I wanted to talk about this here. Hold on one second. All right. This is what I've been looking forward to. 3.10 is going to give us some serious flight improvements, and I hope it's not just all talk. So I wanted to go over a little bit of what's going to be coming up in 3.10, both flight and fight, when we're talking about flight mechanics, when we're talking about dog fights, combats. We just watched a great trailer from some amazing Russians that put together one of the coolest machinima videos I've ever seen. And in that, you got to see a lot of the current atmospheric mechanics that are in the game that we're not too hip on. We want to see improvements done. We would rather not have quantum in atmosphere because we want these realistic dogfights and ground battles and ground air battles on planets and moons. We want an upgrade in the atmospheric effects, the dynamic weather affecting our flight, the weight, the gravity. We want it all. We want the most true experience we can get when it comes to flight. And so 3.10 is going to be our first taste. It's going to give us like a little morsel of what's to come, because like we saw in Inside Star Citizen, the new flight team that has been involved with helping change the flight mechanics has been involved with this now for, I don't know how long, about 4 months. I could be wrong. 4 or 5, maybe even longer, but they've been around a while and they've been putting input into this flight experience. And hopefully what we're going to see is an improved version of flight. So let me read this. In Star Citizen Alpha 3.10, we're introducing numerous changes as part of our plan to improve the overall flight and combat experience, as mentioned on Inside Star Citizen in February. Okay, so what is that? That's 3 months, 4 months? Yeah, like 4 months ago. I was right. Wow. We've assembled a vehicle experience team to overhaul flight and fight mechanics and introduce many quality of life improvements to make the experience more immersive and exciting. That's what we want. Today, we're letting you know what to expect in our upcoming patch, which is currently in the hands of the Evocati test group. That's great. And will soon be available to a wider audience on our public test server. Great. I am looking forward to that. I will give you my own experiences. I will share them and let you know what I think about that when I hit the first wave of the PTU. I'm very much looking forward to it. Very, very much, and I will definitely chime in on what my thoughts are when I play it in the first wave. Thruster efficiency curves, aerodynamics, and jerk. Great. I'm already liking the title here. What will change in Alpha 3.10? We've made critical updates to flight for performance for all ships, with thruster efficiency curves drastically changing the way thrusters work in atmosphere. Great. Thrusters now lose efficiency and become much weaker. Great. You're going to have people crying about that. They want easy mode. Tough. There is no easy mode for this. You have to know how to fly. If you're going into an atmosphere on a planet or a moon, you have to adjust. You have to learn how to fly. We call it L2F, okay? They're going to mix it with new mechanics where you're going to have like a nice little green lit strip to land at. But now we're making flight a little bit more difficult to get to that wonderful little green lit strip down to your starbase, which is great. This is dependent on the ship and the thruster type to some degree. It should be to all degree. But ships in general will have much weaker thrusters in the atmosphere and behave differently. Good. Good. Ships now also have individual simulated aerodynamic surfaces. Great. They contribute various small forces to the motion of the ship. Each force is dynamic and bespoke, allowing us to simulate wings of various kinds, as well as flat plates and lifting body forces. Ships with wings are now able to stall, make level turns, lose speed in tight turns, and benefit from various aerodynamic features. They're already getting me excited. They're already getting me excited, fam. This is already like but again, you know, this could be all talk, but it's sounding good right now. The aerodynamic interaction with wind is now more detailed. Good. And you can expect the wind to push and pull ships in more complex ways. Good. Breakable parts now affect aerodynamics. Oh, a ship can be broken. A ship with a broken wing will no longer fly straight. Hold on a second. This is good news. This is realism. This is realism. There's going to be so many tears. Cash in the chat says, so many players are going to cry. Yes. Ash in the chat is also agreeing. Yes, there's going to be so many tears over this. I have to say this. This isn't a kiddie game. This is a game for people that are a little bit more hardcore than most people. This is not Elite Dangerous. It has no danger in it. And all elite. In fact, ED should be named erectile dysfunction because there are so many people that are scared in that game. They're scared. This game, you gotta handle it. You gotta figure out how to put your big boy pants on. Okay? If you don't know how to put your big boy pants on, then you shouldn't be playing Star Citizen. That's just the way that it is. And oh, the outrage. Oh, so many people are going to be like, I can't believe how douchey you are. I can't believe it. That you would say that and exclude us. You're excluded. You're excluded. If you can't put your big boy pants on, don't play this game. Period. We've also increased the complexity of the thruster system for ships. Taking damage, powering down, or losing a thruster will now put the ship out of balance. Great. Great. You will experience unwanted rotations and instabilities in the ship's control until you repair the damage, as it should be. Learn to fly. Learn to fly. Jerk is a core change to how ships move. No, it's not talking about me. I know some of you want to call me a jerk right now. It's not talking about me. It's talking about physicality. The physicality. The physics of flying a ship. There's some jerk involved. Jerk is a core change to how ships move, both in space and within atmosphere, and is a measure of how quickly a ship's acceleration changes. Previously, it was an infinite quantity. Now it's finite, which means thrusters do not respond immediately to changes in acceleration. Can I just say right now, I thought this was a good move when they made the announcement on Inside Star Citizen and they brought in this team. And it sounds like the team, with their own experience and listening to the community, have finally figured out what it is that citizens want when it comes to flight, at least the atmospheric flight. Everything we're talking about right now sounds pretty much like the atmospheric flight. And this is the way it should be. This is the way it needs to be. It sounds to me like we got a home run. At least they're listening. Whether we're going to see this or not in 3.10, I'm sure the first iteration of these changes will not be perfect. So you're going to see a whole bunch of that too. So we're going to get the first iteration of these changes in 3.10, and then you're going to see a wave of content creators and a wave of people tell you about how shitty it is, probably myself included. But like, we got to ground it with the fact that it will continue to evolve, and at least this, which is the core of the changes that they want to make, that they're trying to strive to, that they want to get to, is being put down. And that's important. That's important that they're telling us this. So yes, it might just be words now, and we might not see the exact actions in the game when we play 3.10 of this, as it's the first iteration. But this is what they're trying to get to. This is what they're trying to achieve. And I'm happy. I'm really happy about this. How will this impact the game experience? By drastically reducing thruster efficiency in atmosphere, you'll see a dramatic difference between flying and fighting around planetary bodies with atmosphere compared to battles in space. Since the aerodynamic forces are stronger in Alpha 3.10, flight is much less defined by a ship's thrusters and more about its aerodynamics. This will really push the difference between space and atmospheric flight and add more depth and variety to Star Citizen. Amen. Expect every ship to behave differently and with a lot more character. Okay, that's big. That's awesome. We've been saying it. There are some ships like the Valkyrie that literally looks like a tank that shouldn't be able to fly that well in atmosphere. And now possibly we will see the Valkyrie have some issues. Larger ships like the Carrack, larger ships like the 890. These ships might take a lot more push and be much harder to fly and be a bit slower, as they should be. Crying, I can hear it already. Care Bear tears collecting. Here's a vial. Put it in the vial, Care Bears. Put it in the vial. Lock it up. I will put it around my necklace right here with a little necklace here. You see? And a little pendant of Care Bear vial tears right here. Do you like it? Yeah. It's a large chain. I'm just gonna put a large chain. No man should wear a necklace. It should be a giant chain with a big vat of Care Bear tears in there. And that's what I'm gonna start wearing on this stream. When I can hear it right now. There's going to be so much, and I hope to God that Cloud Imperium does not listen to it. I hope to God that Cloud Imperium does not listen to the back. The loudest people are not the majority of people, by the way, Cloud Imperium. I think they know that by now. The loudest people are not the majority. So when you start seeing this everywhere, the crying everywhere about this is the minority of people. This is the minority of people. The people that don't say anything are the ones that are absolutely fine with it. I would recommend, excuse me, that people who are in favor of this thing be a little bit more vocal about it. Tell people, hey, I like this. STFU. Put your Care Bear tears in DG's large vial around the chain around his neck. If you see it, please say DG360 has a vial of Care Bear tears that you should cry into. He is wearing it on his stream. It is a chain with a large vial of Care Bear tears. Just tell him that I have it ready. I have it here to collect their tears. One aim of this is to enable more engaging dog fighting. Great. Oh, by the way, up above, the new aerodynamic system also supports animating wings and parts, which we've not been able to do before. Awesome. Ships like the Reliant Hawk and others that have moving wings will have a completely different aerodynamic feel after the parts have been animated. That is so cool. One aim of this is to enable more engaging dogfights. Absolutely. We have been wanting this for a very, very long time. As we reduce the combat efficiency of a ship at high velocity, we encourage combat engagements at lower speeds, providing you with much more time to launch a flight maneuver or counter an opponent. What's coming next? Our goal is to improve the vehicle experience further as we continue to work on the flight characteristics in atmosphere and space. Supporting an animated aerodynamic surfaces also paves the way for working control surfaces, which will come in a future patch. Wow. Alpha 3.10 brings the very first changes. See, they're prepping everybody right now. They're telling people, hey, everybody, if you're not really liking what you're feeling in the first iteration in 3.10, don't worry. This is what we're going to evolve it to. We are also going to further refine the differences between maneuvering thrusters and main engines. The concept is that maneuvering thrusters are built for quick pulses of high thrust for directional changes, while the main and VTOL engines are built for sustained thrust. There will be differences with the thrusters. No longer will they just be painted thrusters that show animations that move you unrealistically. And like this kind of zero gravity effect in atmosphere. I'm digging what I'm seeing here. The thrusters have different physics to them. Good. As it should be. This will further differentiate between ships in terms of space and atmosphere. It will be harder to land, people. If your ship has damage, it will be harder to land. So where do you go to land? Use your brain. You go somewhere where the gravity is 0. There is no gravity, like a space station, and you dock there. Right. If you have damage on your ship, Elm says eject. Elm, you're going to have a very expensive life as a citizen if that's what you're going to do, bro. I'm reading the comments in chat. They're great. Let's see here. So this will differentiate between ships in terms of space and atmosphere. Aerodynamic ships like the Gladius will be better suited to flying in atmosphere. You know, it looks like something that's a jet. You could fly it in the atmosphere. Makes sense. As the lift generated by the wings negate the need for maneuvering thrusters to keep them aloft. But if a pilot wanted to treat a Gladius like a helicopter gunship, they would only do this for a limited time before straining the thrusters, whereas a Valkyrie with 4 large VTOL engines would have no problem. VTOL making a serious impact on the physics here. I'm loving this. Ships have designed designated purposes, as they should, based upon the dynamics, the physics that we're seeing here, the way that the ship's designed. Great. This is where I wanted the flight to be from the very beginning. This is exactly where I wanted to see, especially the atmospheric flight. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Larger targets with not aerodynamic looks, or larger ships become larger targets. This is the way it should be. And they should be designed to take a lot of damage. The Valkyrie can hover. It can hover. It can drop down serious ground units. Right? It can hover. It can take serious amounts of damage, but it can't fly great. It can't like fly fast and be all like, whoa, look at me. I'm a big Valkyrie that can do amazing maneuvers. You're not going to be able to do that. And that's not what that ship was designed for anyway. And if you're one of the people that are upset about these changes, perhaps you should have thought about that before buying it. Because design has a function, a purpose. That's why there's all these different manufacturers. That's why each of them specialize in a different area. That's why you take the time to learn about these things. Big boy pants, people. Big boy pants. Big boy pants. Take the time to learn about what it is that you're spending money for. Once we're happy with how atmospheric flight, thrusters, efficiency, and jerks works, we will also look at the G-forces applied to the pilot. Thank you. An update on the G-forces. Yes. 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 There should have some connection. Give us the pilot to the ship connection. Yes. It's really sloppy right now. We all know that. We need an upgrade. We need an upgrade. Then you can try to fly at your ship's limit while taking fire or outmaneuvering attacks without falling unconscious. For now, you should familiarize yourself with the new mechanics and test them excessively. Excessively. That's great. I'm going to put a lot of input on the testing. When I hit the first wave of the PTU, I will put a lot of feedback into it. And I hope you guys do too as well, because it's just going to give us a better experience. For now, you should familiarize yourself with the new mechanics and test them excessively. We will then take a look at your feedback and take your suggestions into account for further iterations of the new ship behaviors. And by God, people, please support this and be vocal about the changes and that you like them, because if you don't, the minority that are the loudest, the Care Bears will march in and they will yell and show us their Care Bear powers, and they will cry over everything until it gets dumbed down and changed back to the way that it was. And none of us want that. So please be vocal and be out there and tell them that DG has a vial around the chain of his neck to collect Care Bear tears in. Do it. Do you think the fans on the Roar will open up now? I think we'll see a lot more animations on all ships, Fox. Care Bears are for turrets, says Jiro. We're also going to see changes to turrets. We're also going to see some pretty nice upgrades to turrets. Erad was telling me he was talking to some Ivacati the other day, and he said the turrets were looking pretty nice. that the turrets were shaping up, and they need a lot of improvements. The turrets need a lot of love. Otherwise, I'm just going to throw some NPC on there. I'm just going to hire some NPC AI crew, and that's where I'm at right now, and put them on the turrets. But the turrets need a lot of love. A lot of love. The turret changes are in this article as well. Wait a second. OMG. Thank you. Melchior's continuing the content. I have completely forgotten about it, and Melchior in the chat has reminded me of more amazing, awesome content. Thank you, Melchior. Let's continue reading. This is a nice day for me. This is like, I'm feeling very good right now. I'm feeling very good about what I'm reading here. I need new pants now. Tactics without strategy equals defeat. Who wrote this? Hold on. Golf clap. Golf clap. All right. Let me just say, whoever wrote this, well done. Turret gunnery improvements, targeting methodology, and high speed combat. What will change in Alpha 3.10? Sounds like a lot. It sounds like 3.10 is going to bring us a lot. Fixed weapons and turrets, both manned and remote controlled, now have a fixed assist system. This fixed assist will still reward precise aim and area targeting. Good, okay, but will also use weapon convergence to nudge bullets towards the target and aid players hitting with fixed weapons. Oh, this is going to be big. I'm not quite sure how to respond to this right now. We also have revised how the predicted impact points will be calculated, the pips. The pip will now be updated purely on velocity, which gives us a much more stable firing solution and decreases the effects of network jitters and excessive juke behavior. I wonder if that has anything to do about the what we're seeing with the jankiness with some of the animations from some of the weapon discharges. Additionally, we want you to be able to react to fast-changing combat situations and adjust turret behavior accordingly. Thus, we're implementing new options like virtual joystick deflection, turret ESP, changeable turret velocity limiters, and the ability to automatically recenter the turret with new... It sounds like the turrets... Is this going to be in all ships and all turrets? Because it sounds like a complete overhaul. It sounds like perhaps these options will be something you can dial into when you're in the turret, which would be pretty interesting. That's a huge rework. See ya, Jiro. See ya, buddy. Have a good day, man. This is something I'm going to have to see to believe. Like, I'm going to have to get in the turret. I'm going to have to see these changes with my own eyes in the PTU, because this is something that they could make this worse. They could actually make this worse. We'll see. It sounds to me like they're putting a considerable amount of energy into making turrets much more effective, which is a good thing. We know that it's not always easy to keep orientation as a turret gunner when you're moving with the turret while the ship pilots is making wild maneuvers. But here's the thing. And again, like, this is something, you know, according to that comment. Thank you, Snow Fox. Thank you, Snow Fox. We got a new emote for that. Okay, cool. We did something on Twitch. The chat's having a good time right now. Thank you so much for the bits, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, dude. Going back to this comment here, where they're talking about it's not easy to keep your orientation if the pilot's making wild movements, I would have to say this. Don't make wild movements. Like, if you're a pilot, you need to communicate to your gunners. You need to say, there needs to be some level of communication with the people in the gunner spots and with the pilot. Like, when in World War II, you're flying a B-17 or a B-29 bomber, and you got all these turret spots, you don't see the pilot going nuts flying the bomber all over the place trying to do loops. It's not, that's, yeah, I get we're in space. I understand that. But you also need a better pilot. Thank you, Scooter, for that subscribe. Oh my goodness, Santa Claus, I see you, bro. You gifted a sub. Look at you. Look at this. Look at the love coming in here. Look at the love. Look at that. Gifting one of our viewers. Scooter's got a subscription. That's awesome. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Santa. For Alpha 3.10, we also worked on the targeting computer, and we worked how you deal with an enemy under fire. By looking at a target using free look or any form of head tracking, the targeting system will provide you with basic information about your opponent's ship. Only by manually locking the ship will the targeting computer start spending resources on tracking the enemy vehicle and enable an aim assist and missile lock. By the way, missile locks are so borked right now. I hope that changes in 3.10. But be warned, your opponent will receive a notification that they are target locked. That's great. That should have happened a long time ago. That's awesome. That you get locked and like something happens. Like, hey, by the way, you are locked. In addition to locking, you can pin up to 3 extra targets, which enables you to switch the target lock among those pin ships quickly. That needed an update. That's great. Those pins are shared within the ship. Oh, now we're talking. So now it's going to make more sense to have somebody sitting at a console that's like an engineer spot, or even your co-pilot in certain ships that can do all this. Yes. Yes. I'm digging that. And your crew, you'll have a crew, and the more you fly together, the more you'll get the rhythm. And this is the way you learn. This is the way you learn. You get a crew that you regularly fly with. This stuff becomes automatic to the point where we become just like the most amazing crew ever. And you got a guy who just like assigns targets to everybody in the like, this is the biggest threat. This is the second biggest threat. The third, like, you know, tertiary, like primary, tertiary, you know, like all your different targets, and just shared immediately. Boom, your crew is awesome. You're firing on all cylinders. This is really cool. Finally, we looked at high-speed combat, as we felt that too often dogfighting devolved into battling fast-moving pixels that zoom past you. Absolutely, combat was losing the visceral dogfighting feel that Star Citizen promised. The idea with the changes is to incentivize players with increased accuracy and higher availability of power for things like weapons and shields if traveling at or below space combat maneuver speed. Above this threshold, the ship must divert more power to the thrusters, and it's harder for the targeting computer to quickly resolve a firing solution, and thus harder for you to hit because you're moving faster. That makes sense. This correlates to real life, as it's much harder to land accurate hits while moving fast. In this first iteration, some of the options that players will have at maximum velocity have been restricted. When flying above SCM speeds, weapon slew rate will decrease, and the time it takes to lock on missiles will increase. Man, I'm really excited about 3.10. You know, this is getting me so excited. I gotta start suppressing the excitement because I realize this is not gonna be perfect the first time, and I'm already at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta suppress the positivity for a little bit because I realize there's a long road ahead of us when it comes to this. There really is. We want turrets to be a meaningful choice for players, not climbing into the pilot seat, but manning a turret instead should reward players by adding serious punch to the fight. Any pilots should get nervous if you point a turret at them. Absolutely. Because they are accurate and deadly. With this, we offer you more substantial options during the ship. Okay, as long as here's the caveat. I don't want easy mode turrets though still. Like I like the assist, but don't go to the other opposite side of the spectrum and make this hit every single living thing breathing around you for like 4,000 kilometers out. Like just don't, like let's rein it in. You know what I'm saying? Like it could go to the other side of the spectrum and completely be easy mode as well. Looking into the future, space combat is a topic too complex Oh, wait. Well, let's go back here. Wait. The new targeting change eases the actual target selection process and makes it work better in large space battles. It's also the first step towards pinning and sending targeting data to your friends. Looking into the future, space combat is a topic too complex to be approached with a single patch release. So while Alpha 3.10 is a solid step towards achieving our vision, it does not stand for the final state of how we imagine space combat in Star Citizen to look. Plans include the addition of weapon and thruster capacitors, so you need to choose carefully when to engage in a fight and use your guns or try to break away using boost. The thruster capacitor concept directly ties into the idea of high impulse versus sustained thrust discussed above. We want pilots to commit to their decisions and actions taken in a combat situation to have meaningful consequences for the outcome of the fight. Very eloquently put. Nicely written. We will be adding some additional nuance on the penalties for engaging in combat above SCM speeds, such as an increased energy consumption and shields that recharge slower. Great. We're also reviewing the radar. I'm not quite sure that energy consumption, I'm not quite sure that shields should recharge slower, but I get it. They want to penalize you for running away, is what they're doing. But I'm not quite sure I agree with the shields charging slower, but depending upon power output. If your power is being diverted to your thrust, okay, and you're taking away from your shields, then I understand the correlation, but I hope there isn't like an additional penalty to that. We're also reviewing the radar and scanning systems, allowing smaller ships to hide inside bigger ships' signatures by changing how signatures are generated and detected. That definitely needs some love. That definitely needs some love. Besides being a key factor in being picked up on a scan or seen on radar, your ship's signature will affect how other weapons can track you. If you have full power to your thrusters and shields, you'll run hot and be much easier to detect and track. The stronger your signature, the easier it will be for a missile to lock and track you or auto gimbals to get on target. Ultimately, we do not want space combat to feel like an FPS in space or a DPS race, but rather want to reward pilots that employ tactical maneuvers and carefully play out individual strengths and weaknesses of their and their opponent's ship. Running stealthily allows you not to be detected easily, and even when you picked up on radar, it takes longer for your enemy to determine a firing solution as your signature is low. But if they hit, you'll be in trouble, as you can't pump the same kind of power to your shields as you could if you were tanking it. There should not be one all-powerful ship or play style. The idea is to have strategies and counter strategies for different ships and play styles. Wow, I am... This is possibly the most intelligent piece I've seen on game design. When it comes to dogfights, when it comes to like the design of your ship, picking the ship, figuring out what position in the ship you want to play, what role you want to play in the ship. Everything should have an effect. This is great. This is great. In the future, you'll see a lot of changes in the weapon systems, ship balance, and combat UI. This does not just cover the primary combat systems, but also ways to more effectively communicate with your co-pilots, gunners, and wingmen. Therefore, enhance your tactical options in multi-crew and fleet gameplay. Alpha 3.10 is just the first steps that we discussed. That we know it. From utilizing the physics systems, calculate weapon damage based on properties and speed instead of a simple hit point approach. Good. They're adding variables that need to be added. Exciting multi-crew gameplay. Things like putting out fires. Oh, we saw that in the last Inside Star Citizen. We saw fires. Yes. So now we got to deal with the physicalities of the elements inside your ship. Right. Rerouting power nodes to keep your ship running. And oh man, we're talking about different rules on a ship and how you're going to have to become a specialist in whatever role interests you. That rule is there for you. That is what we're talking about with Star Citizen. That's one of the draws, one of the appeals. Putting this kind of game design in there, enhances the immersion, enhances the attraction for people with different types of play styles. This is great. we need to like continue to nurture this, you know, moving forward and not rah, 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 rah. It's targeted to release in July. So 3.10 is targeted to release in July. We can look at the roadmap later, but guys, that is, whew, my goodness, that was a good time. Yeah, soloing a big ship is no longer attractive anymore, says Red Bear. Right, dude. Right. Absolutely, man. Yeah, like there always has to be this balance, and it sounds to me like they're putting the coals in the fire and kind of heating things up when it comes to the flight experience and combat. And I'm so happy for that. It's needed that kind of love for quite a long time. Anyhow, thank you. Anarchy knows. He sees me winding down. Anarchy's like, dude, you're tired. You're right, I am. And I need to refuel. Thank you, Anarchy. I need to refuel, make some food because Devin's starving, so he's gonna be home soon. And afterwards, later today, more fun. We're gonna get together for the Inside Star Citizen review. And I hope you guys are there tonight. Bring your favorite beverages. We're gonna chill out. We're gonna have a good time watching Inside Star Citizen together. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for chilling with me in the morning. Guys, we're doing great. The momentum's great. The support for the channel has been phenomenal. You know, a lot of people don't understand how important it is for me to get that kind of support. Thank you so much. It helps with everything in my real life. I really appreciate all the love and support. Let's do shout outs right now. There's so much that's happened today on the stream. I want to give out love to everybody here who's helped the channel out. Let's go to this page if I can. There's so much I can't even, oh my goodness, there's so much that's happened today on today's stream that I can't even load it up. Oh my god, you guys are insane. All right, let's see here. Killian, thank you for the 400 bits, dude. Man Meat, thank you for the follow. Fran, thank you for the follow. Carrie, thank you for the follow. Crozy did follow me, but I did ban Crozy because you were just annoying and you're trying to promote somebody else's stream. So Crozy's lost in the ether. Jiro, thank you for the subscription. Snow Fox, thank you for that 500 bits. Santa Claus, thank you for that gifted tier. And I want to thank everybody who has pushed the join button on YouTube and has become a member and has access to the podcast as well as our patrons. We have 5 episodes. Next week, I am going to be interviewing Ravier from Galactic Logistics on the podcast, and we are going to talk economy. That's going to be fun because you guys know I love talking about the economy. So I'm going to have that come out probably end of next weekend, the new podcast for our VIP members. Also, you can find me on, hold on, let's look here. If you want more DG, you can go to the Star Citizen Leaks YouTube channel, and you can find me on the latest episode about the refining experience that I appeared on with Execute at Inforunners and Hater. So I want to help them promote this channel. They really don't need the help, but you know, hey, I had a good time on the Star Citizen Leaks show. Also, Erad, I would like to promote Erad here because he did this wonderful video. It's a farce. He created this creative fantastical narrative here of our shootout yesterday, of our contest that we had. It was a great time with everybody who showed up, by the way. Thank you for showing up and having a good time with Eradicator and I yesterday. We had a blast. And also, my God, there's just so many announcements. They never stop. I'm sorry. There's so much. We are giving away, thanks to J Dubs, who is J-Dubs and Cash have given so much in terms of like donations to this community. We are giving away a Cutlass Blue to all patrons and to backers, like all financial backers. So if you push the join button, if you pledge on Patreon, you're automatically entered in every giveaway forever. And usually we do like 2 giveaways every month. And this one is awesome. Cutlass Blue. And as Snowfox says, there are fun times afoot. I enabled points on the stream as well, so you guys can start using your points when you watch. And thanks to Anarchy Burger, pretty soon there's going to be a lot of changes artistically with alerts. There's going to be a lot of cool upgrades. We're burning towards 11,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. We're nearly at, I think we gained 200, almost 200 subscribers, and like it's almost somewhere around 50 to 100 subscribers every week on our YouTube channel. And I'm having a great time. And I will see you later, guys, on the Inside Star Citizen Review Show. It is time to get going. I will see you later, guys. Peace out.